We're live. We're live.
We're live!
We're live.
Woo woo! Oh my goodness, here we are. Whoop whoop whoop! We're at the Driving Creek. We're live at the moment. We don't know. This is where the trains come in usually. Normally there would be lots of people here waiting to get on this train. Yep, but now it's just me and my guests because we're all on lockdown. And I must say, yep, something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen like we knew it would. Whoa, yeah, well things will change and leaves will fall and it will rain. Transform before your eyes. No time for chasing. Why did this happen? Oh, you never know just how life is gonna go. Jump in your boat and row, row. Jump in your boat and row, row. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen, Lord, we knew. I think so. We think so. Whoa, you gotta aim high and go for your pie in the sky. Go ahead and trust yourself. Everything will right itself. Oh yeah, well life's a stream, so go ahead now, follow your dream. Jump in your boat and row, row, row. Jump in your boat and row, row, row. Everybody sing it. Are you ready? Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen like we knew it would. Just keep singing that, folks. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Another thing I want to tell you, put your hands in the air right now. Lowers your stress hormone. Everybody out there right now, put your hands up above your head. Wave them around. Yeah, 2 minutes like this. Cortisol goes plummeting, plummeting. That's what we need to do. Keep your hands up. Woo! I'm having a good time. I am blessed to be on lockdown here at the Driving Creek Railway and Pottery. And I'm on lockdown with 5 other people, and you're going to meet 2 of them today. Lucky for me, I got locked down with some interesting folk. Frederick, would you care to...
You don't have your microphone.
I don't have my microphone on. Oh my God. Oh, just, we missed the team, I tell you. How's that? Hopefully you can hear a little better. All right, hey Frederick, come join me.
Okay.
Okay, come join me. Frederick. Now, those of you here, Frederick. Hi, Frederick.
Good morning.
Frederick is also doing a little bit of, what's it called, camera manning. And somebody can check on that camera every once in a while to make sure it's not like going, whoop. The live one. The live one could be suffering from
a bit of droopies.
Dysfunction. Yeah. We're good. We're still on there. Hey, people out there.
Morning.
Morning. Yeah, those of you that caught the last show, we did it on a Tuesday because things were all up in the air. It was all before this big lockdown. And Frederick, you were going to be on the show last time, but you were in a meeting.
Yeah, things changed that day quite rapidly over those sort of 24 to 48 hours at that stage. It was pretty interesting.
It was pretty interesting. So, I kept looking over my shoulder going, well, I reckon Frederick will be here any minute.
Yeah, and he never was. Well, he came about 3 hours later.
After the meeting. So Frederick, you work here at the Driving Creek Railway.
Yes.
Yes! And what do you do?
Well, I started, when I first got here, I was working on the track.
Working on the track. When you say working on the track, what do you mean?
Yeah. I was a per-way worker. Now, a per-way worker is a person who does maintenance and stuff on the railway track.
Oh.
And so I was employed here for a few hours a week doing that and helping to replace broken rails or damaged rails and stuff like that. And then Yeah, and replace sleepers and the bits and pieces around there. Sleepers, you know.
We can't have any sleepers. We got to replace them with what? Wakers?
You
No, sleepers are under the railroad tracks.
Yep.
Is that correct?
So basically, you have your steel rails on the top. Underneath, they're bolted to bits of timber that go across the track and keep everything stable. And underneath that is what we call the ballast, or the rocks. You know, the metal that keeps it all together.
Now, how did you end up here at the Driving Creek Railway?
That's a really interesting question. I have a friend. Yeah, I do. I have a friend. Yeah, you got yeah. And by the name of Sam Ireland, who is an amazing potter. Sam, yeah. And he's been doing work.
You know what? Nobody's plugged this microphone.
Nobody plugged the microphones
in. Here, let me do this. Wow, there we go. Lord have mercy.
We are so good. We got everything ready.
All right. Now, does that make any difference to anybody out there in the world?
Who knows? Anyway.
I think we'd gotten up a little early. You know, it's that daylight savings time. It happened here. It happened here early. Today is Sunday, by the way, for those of you all in Gulfport, Florida, and Virginia. We're Sunday here. Sunday morning.
It's probably been from here. But anyway, so back to how I started here. Sam is a potter, and he was doing a firing up in the big wood-fired kiln up there, and wanted to know if I was interested in coming along and helping.
Yeah.
And so, it was a 26-hour, we stoked the kiln.
26-hour firing.
Yep.
Somebody has to be
had
on.
To stoke every couple of minutes.
Every couple of minutes for 26
full time,
hours.
everybody's on. And so between Sam and Laurie and myself and a couple of others on and off. And you get to know people at 2 o'clock in the morning when you're sitting stoking the kiln. It's quite an experience. And so from there on in, it was sort of, I'd got my foot through the door and helped with another firing a few weeks later. And
okay, but that's the pottery side of things. What, just because you do pottery, what does that make you? How does that make you able to fix train tracks?
It doesn't. But the good thing about it is Baron, who's our sort of chief engineer on site, is very good at.
Baron.
Is a very good teacher, and so I learned how to bend rails with a Jim Crow, and. Yeah, so it's been really good.
And were you interested in pottery for a long time?
Yeah, I've been interested in pottery for a very long time.
And trains?
Trains have always been a really cool little thing for me. I've always wanted to do a big train trip somewhere, and managed to do that back in January.
Yeah, you went to where? India?
India, yes.
You went on a train/pottery trip in India. Who knew there were so many train/pottery things to be done in the world?
So basically between the pottery, where I spent 2 months in a pottery retreat just out of Chandigarh in northern India, and then went on a big train trip of 6,500 kilometres around India, which was really quite an amazing experience, travelling on some of their trains, and it was absolutely amazing.
And so, in this pottery retreat that you did, so you found a place in India where you can just sit there and they bring you breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you just pot all day. For a reasonable fee. Very reasonable fee. You brought back a piece. We would like to show us a little piece of your pottery, please. Oh!
Look at that.
We are such technical wizards.
We are.
This specialness of. There you go.
Right.
How's everybody doing out there? We all right? Yeah. Okay. Good. We got a lot of audience here. That's what happens when you're in lockdown. We got our own audience, and they got nothing else to do.
So this is a leaf. A leaf bowl.
Yep. Okay. Let's hold this up for. Yep. Leaf bowl. So would you impregnate a leaf in there?
Impregnate. I don't think that's quite the right word.
What's the word? Impress.
Impress. Yes. Yes. That is a leaf off an Indian fig tree, and it was a small leaf. They go much bigger than that, and it's got a lovely crack down there. But I managed to get it home safely, and
why is the crack lovely?
Well, how many other platters have you seen with a crack like that?
Okay, good. This is the first one with a crack like that.
Exactly, and it will probably end up splitting over time, but it's such an amazing piece of work. I definitely wanted to bring it home. So yes, and
Yeah, when I first met Frederick here, we had just had a little bisque firing, and you had fired a kind of a square thing, and I called you the square potter.
oh,
Yes.
was that one of
Oh,
those ones?
might have been
Little
one of your
box?
little boxes. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, he's the square potter. Turns out he's not so square after all. He's a bit angular.
But yes,
So now we call him the angular potter. There we go. All right.
Yeah.
Little boxes. This has been, has this one been bisque fired?
it's been bisqued and not finished
but
yet.
not glaze fired.
And watch the lid on that fella. But that's a little teapot.
That's a little teapot. And this teapot was made in India. The
Yep.
top comes off. Ooh, careful, careful. Does it actually hold tea?
It does,
Okay.
Yeah.
And
and it works, and it pours out the spout.
it actually pours out the spout.
Yeah.
Now, why are you making all these like angular things? I mean, why not? But
I can't answer that. I like shapes. I find round boring, and so I just head off down different. Yeah, I like geometric shapes and things, and
oh,
oddball quirkies. You see.
oh yes. Well, this is round.
Yeah.
This is round with a nice little. How are we doing on viewing? Can they see it? Yeah. There we go. This is beautiful. And teapots. That's kind of a classic
Yeah, but
sculpture-y thing to do.
Yeah, but it's a variation on a standard teapot.
Yeah.
And I like slab work, and with slab work, it's much easier to make these things. And,
Yeah. Now slab work means you roll out a piece of clay into a slab,
yep.
and then
And then you cut your shapes out, and then you join them together, and it's amazing what you can build. I've got some that aren't in the some very weird Escher-esque type stuff that's still green. It hasn't been fired yet, so I didn't want to bring it down.
Yeah, because when it's green, it'll fall apart in your hands if you're not careful. Okay, so so here you are now. You started out as a part-time rail bender?
Not an airbender,
Yeah, or a liquor bender.
as well.
But now you have a new job. Well, we hope you.
Well,
Does
who knows
anybody
what's
have
going to
a
happen
job?
out the other end of this. Because we're Driving Creek Railways and Potteries and conservation area is a tourist area. We have no idea what's going to happen out the other end of this. Whether obviously our international tourism will die for a while. Domestic tourism, we have no idea what's going to happen. So maybe out the other end I might have a job. Who knows what that will be? It will be what it is.
Well, I know that we got plans. Frederick's like, hey, you want to come help me bend some rail? I'm like, yeah. So later on this week, I'm going to go up the track and learn how to bend some rail. You got to learn things when you can.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity to learn things.
Now you live in a bus.
I do. I live in the Fred Rock Cafe.
The Fred Rock Cafe. And when I say bus, it's not like a school bus. It's more like a.
Well, no, it used to be an inner city bus in Japan.
Oh.
It's a Hino Rainbow, 7 metres long. That's been converted for full-time living, and that's where I'm parked up just outside the front gate here, and
Yeah, he's physically blocking anybody else from coming in. If you're trying to get in here, you're going to have to go through the bus.
Don't tempt them. Don't tempt them.
them.
Somebody might try. But yes.
And how long have you been living full time on a bus?
It's about 7 years now.
7 years.
2013, I think it was, August 2013.
And how do you keep from getting too much stuff in your bus?
Well, it's easy because you haven't got room to put it.
Right.
Yeah, and so every so often you have to go do a bit of a clean out, and especially if you're sitting for a while and you start accumulating stuff. And so but you just everything has a place, and if it doesn't fit, you've really got to look at why you want it and where it goes.
And do you have some things just because they're pretty?
I do have a few little bits and pieces, few little knickknacks. There's a lot of stuff that I would really like, but I've got nowhere to put it.
Where are you going to put these teapots?
It's in someone else's house.
So if you're interested in a teapot, we can send them to you, all of us.
Yeah, well, they got home from India, so
We can
yeah.
get them someplace else.
Anything's possible.
And do you have any big hopes and dreams?
What a question.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm. You see, it's really interesting because I'm at the.
I mean, you got this promotion right before it all went to poop.
Yes. Who
Now-
knows what's going to happen there? But
Okay, but like
yeah.
if you could do or be or have anything, what would be your biggest hope
Well,
and dream?
the irony of it is, if I can continue to stay here and do sort of what I'm doing, a little bit of this and a little bit of potting and a little bit of whatever, I'd be really happy.
Yeah.
Because dare I say it, I'm in, because before all this happened, you know, when I went into the bus, I was in semi-retirement. And so I've sort of, I spent 25 years as a video editor.
A video editor.
Video editor. And so I got rid of that and so I'm sort of out the tail end of all my working life and I've done some amazing things. My trip to India was just mind-blowing. 3 months in India all by myself and it was, oh my goodness me, it was a real mind bender, that one. And then to come home to this, because I came home just as it was starting, and so then, yeah, you sort of really do begin to wonder where the world's going. But to answer your question, I don't know. But if I could stay here and do what I'm doing, I'd be very happy.
I know, I'm kind of happy too.
It's an amazing place to be.
I am stuck here and I'm not working. So anybody that wants to join the Patreon/The Laura Shepherd Show. That's right. You could give $1 a show and I'd get that. But I feel pretty blessed to be stuck here with you.
It's a bit of fun. We've got some really cool people that we're bubbled with, as it were,
In our little
in our
bubble.
little isolation bubbles. And we're sort of, there's 3 pairs of us, and the boys are over there, and the girls are over there, and you and I are stuck in the middle.
Yeah, I guess that's because we're one boy and one girl.
Oh, are we?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, it's because they can't. I mean, that's why we call them the boys and them the girls and us.
Yeah,
is-
so don't get the two mixed up.
No.
So yeah, but we sort of do our own thing to a certain extent, and then we meet up occasionally. Like it's pizza night tonight.
Tonight,
Woo!
pizza
Pizza night.
night!
Make your own
Pizza
pizza.
Yeah, in Coromandel town. If you happen to live in Coromandel, Sunday night at the Star and Garter, you can get $10 pizzas, and so it is Sunday night, and we're not going to the Star and Garter, but
Oh,
boy,
we're
we're
still
going to
gonna have
have
our
our
Sunday night
pizza. I'm excited about that. All right, well, Frederick, I so appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to join me.
Busy day. Yeah, flat out.
Well, actually, I saw you have actually been working. You've been doing some real computer work, haven't you?
Oh yeah. We're just we've got a new system that we're trying to put all our maintenance and stuff on, and so I've been transferring it across into that. I'm nearly finished.
Oh.
I've only got a page and a half of stuff to go, and then I've got to do all the bridge and tunnel work. But apart from that,
Yeah, we
pretty
got
much
bridges and tunnels here. Well,
on the railway.
on the railway. Maybe one day you'll make a trip.
Yeah,
Well, anyways, Frederick, I certainly thank you so much for coming to talk to me.
absolute pleasure.
And oh no, the pleasure was mine. All right, so
It's half yours and half mine. How's
oh
that?
yes, we'll
if
just
we're going to define the
let's be equal.
Yeah.
I mean, no
Well, it
sense
is
in
your show, so.
Well, I know, but we don't have to dominate in these times. I think it's better just to be equal.
Okay.
Okay. All right, I will take this.
You're going
from
to
you.
take that?
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate you helping.
No problem.
And, you know.
All right.
Yay, thank
Have
you.
a good one. I'm going to
Oh,
go this
goodness.
way.
He's going off that way. we have all sorts of.
I got it. There
we go.
Actually, I'll go the wrong way.
Alrighty, I tell you, here I am.
Stuck in the
For those of you that have been watching the show since I've been here in New Zealand, we got all the time we have new fruits. These, my friends, are called feijoas. Now, usually, I'm on my way back to spring when the feijoas are ripe. But I'm going to take this opportunity to show you a feijoa. You cut that baby in half. Look at that. Oh my goodness. So yeah, fruit falling off the trees. Well, yeah, no, these were picked up off the ground. Can you just taste that? Sweet. And I don't even know what. Sweet like a feijoa. Feijoa. I don't even know how to spell it.
F-E-I-J-O.
Somebody can. We'll get somebody to spell that for us a little later.
J-O-A?
Yeah, they're working on the spelling back there. I want to take this time to play a little song about how thankful I am. Some of you may have heard the song in the past. First there was eggs, and then there was butter. Bacon, fry it, and milk from the udder. Seemed like the way to start every day. Thankful for my breakfast. Thankful to eat. Right about noon, there was bread and cheese, a fizzy cold drink, and little green peas. Seemed just right for the middle of the day. Thankful for my lunch. Thankful to eat. Just after dusk, we get called in to eat. The soup made with love and potatoes and beets. Seemed like the way to end every day. Thankful for my supper. Thankful to eat. Late at night, I go for the fridge door, then I reach right in and I get a little bit more. Sure am glad I eat every day. I'm thankful to eat every day. I'm thankful to Yeah, I am thankful. I'm thankful that my card is still pumping out. When I go to the grocery store, I buy some things, I stick my card in that little machine, and I hit the button with my elbow because we're all being clean. And darn if it don't let me take that food home, and I am sure thankful to eat. I've been sitting upstairs. I got one big worry in the world right now, and the worry is that I'm stuck down here in New Zealand, and I don't know if you people know this, but it's going into winter time. Like, it's going to be cold. So I had to make old man winter. Whew, there he is, old man winter. Now this is greenware, so it hadn't been fired. If I were to spit on it and get it wet, or dunk it in a glass of water, it'd just melt right down. The other thing I made some bigger things, but these are the cute little things I like to make. This here's little hedgehog. Isn't he cute? Little hedgehog. Now, hedgehog is cute, but what is he? He's not from around here. He is not welcome in the woods. Cute as you are, you're just not welcome here. Lord, people see you, they'd trap you or something. All right, that's my little segue into my next guest. Saskia, would you like to join me on the stage?
Okay.
We have Saskia! Yay! How are you?
Good.
Oh my goodness. Look, I get to touch you because we're in the
Yeah,
same
we're
bubble.
the same bubble.
We can even hug each other. Here you go. Clip that on somewhere. Oh my goodness. I showed you a little rat I had made. And I made it for Saskia. Because Saskia,
Like
other
that.
than, yeah, Saskia.
Now I feel like bacon actually after your song.
Yeah, you want some bacon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have bacon on our pizza tonight. I don't know if we have bacon.
Yeah,
I don't have any bacon. I got feijoas. Can we have feijoa pizza? Look, food's been falling off the trees. I had pears, apples, and feijoas. Cooked them all down last night. It was so delicious. So Saskia, other than you're a zipline guide,
Yeah.
but you have this other role here at Driving Creek.
A few other roles.
A few
actually.
other roles, and one of them is trapping.
Yeah.
Now, if you all saw the show last time, you saw the beautiful little rat that I made. Because Saskia, you want to show us a rat trap?
Yeah. With a real rat in it, actually.
All right, now
A cute little rat. That
This-
we caught last night.
this is Saskia, and this is her job. She catches. This is a foreign invader. How's it looking on the screen over there? Yeah. Okay, so Saskia traps rats. Now, you do this, why?
Just for fun. No, not
She
really.
looks nice.
I don't do it for fun because it's like nice to kill rats or to kill animals generally. It's more about, you know, getting the bird life back.
The
Because
bird
they-
life.
Yeah. And if they have predators, like if the birds have predators, they just fly off and they fly somewhere else. So you can actually tell the difference if you're actually trapping in the forest, and you can tell the difference if you don't trap in the forest. You can tell the difference.
So you have like a trap line? Would you call it an actual trap
yeah,
line?
Yeah, you would call it a trap line.
Which
Yeah.
is sort of a not actually a line in the sand, but it's a series of traps. Is
Yeah.
that what a trap line
It's
is?
it's like a trek through the bush, and it's
The
marked.
bush is the woods, by the way. We call it the
Oh,
bush
yeah,
here.
the woods.
The forest, the enchanted forest.
So yeah, you've got basically a track, and it's all marked out, and you just walk along this line, and then you check all the traps and you rebait it.
And what are you baiting your traps with?
So depends on the traps actually, because we've got different kinds of traps.
That's kind of an
So-
old-fashioned trap. The
That's
trap
an
is in that
old-fashioned-
box so that people don't
Yeah.
touch it. But the trap
it's
is
not about the people; it's actually about the birds or
Oh.
other animals walking over it.
okay.
So if you had birds walking around at the moment, especially they, because it's still pretty dry over here, and they're looking for water. So some of the birds would even walk around the ground and just they could end up in the traps, and we want to avoid that. But it's also about the people. Yeah, some people would probably stick their hands in there. Can be quite painful. I've done it before. But with other traps, it's not too bad actually. There's bigger traps where it's quite dangerous to stick your hand in.
All right. So what are we baiting them with?
In this case, I would use peanut butter. Just a really cheap peanut butter. They don't really care if it's cheap or expensive, you know.
They don't need the organic.
It's,
They probably
I
like the
don't know.
sugary one.
maybe
My
I should
guess.
buy the organic next
And try
time.
it.
Yeah. No, I
Mm. Yeah.
wouldn't spend too much money on that. To feed them.
I know. There's in the refrigerator. I'm using the kitchen here, and there's this sign, and it says "rotting cheese save." For rat traps. It's like, oh, gotcha. Okay, I won't be cleaning the rotting cheese out of this refrigerator.
This is actually not even. This is not even a thing. Like you wouldn't.
Well,
you
what
wouldn't
says
trust-
it in there?
It's not. It's not.
Who
mine.
left the rotting cheese in
It
there?
must have been before I started working.
Okay,
here.
well, we need to get rid of that rotting cheese
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you're
yeah.
the only trapper here, and I cannot believe. Okay, anyways,
we
moving
actually-
on
we actually
about
got
the
a-
state of my refrigerator.
We actually got a few volunteers coming up. Not at this stage because it's only it's
No.
only us at the moment.
Oh,
Our
we're so
little-
happy.
Our little bubble, so it's only me trapping, but we've got a few volunteers here on the
All right, so
on the property.
So we're trapping, and if you all saw the show at the White House, we had a guest, Kate James, and she was
Oh, yeah.
the conservation manager here.
Mm-hmm.
She's not here.
She is.
She is, yeah, but she's not here, so you're just the one doing it. But she also is Plastic Free Coromandel, so if you want to see Saskia's boss, go look at the other show. Okay, so we're trapping for rats, possums. Now,
Yeah.
for those of you that live in the United States, a possum has a tail like a rat, but here a possum has a tail kind of furry like a cat.
Yeah.
Just to let you know. Somebody said, oh, there goes a possum. And I'm like, that ain't no possum. And they're like, oh, that's a possum. I'm like, that ain't no possum. We had to like get it out until I figured out there were two kinds of possums. Okay. Then there's also stoats. Stoats, which looks like a little weaselly thing.
Yeah, it's bigger than a weasel. But it looks like a weasel, actually.
And all
like
of
the
these...
colours are very similar, and the tail is a little bit different, and they are slightly bigger and more aggressive than weasels.
And what have you been catching in our bush here recently?
Recently, I caught one weasel the other day, but mainly rats and possums, but not too many possums the last few months.
Yeah, and we're getting rid of them because they are eating the native bird life.
The possums, they also eat the leaves of the trees, or the fresh shoots of the trees.
Right.
So that's why we want to get rid of them, because they would kill trees like every single night. They kill thousands of trees in New Zealand.
Yeah. Okay. So so here at Driving Creek we have a tree planting. Show us some trees. Not only she doesn't just kill rats, people. She did get the mouse out of the kitchen too. I'll give her that.
At the moment, we actually don't have to plant any trees, because when Barry Brickle, the founder, he planted like thousands of trees. So at the moment we don't have to plant trees, but we still, if we have like clear areas, we would still try to replant them. We don't have that many clear areas anymore though.
Yeah.
But the birds actually do the job. But we still have a nursery, and I recently, because we're in this bubble now, I decided to clean it up a little bit. So we found a few trees that was sitting there for quite a long time now. So yeah, we found a few of them. So that's a manuka tree.
Manuka.
Manuka.
And people, have you heard of this Manuka honey? Supposedly the most amazing honey, right?
Yeah, not like most healthy honey you can buy.
And this tree gets to be, how big does this tree get?
About 15 meters.
15 meters. Do the math, y'all.
15 to 20. Yeah.
Yeah. And, okay, so that's a lovely one. And
it has like white flowers. Some of them have pink flowers.
Yeah. And so when they flower, the bees really love them.
Yeah.
And the honey, why is the honey so good? Do you know? Something about, isn't there a bacteria in it that's especially healthful?
It's
Somebody
also
look that up.
It has different numbers too. Like the UMF number on the honey is really important.
UMF?
Yeah.
Do you know what that stands for?
I don't know.
Look it up. Okay, Bob. You know, on the Today Show, they have some little guy over here looking all this up and feeding me some info.
Oh,
can you spell
Casey,
quick. How do you spell Feijoa, for goodness sakes?
Feijoa.
Feijoa. See, we got an educated woman here. Okay, show us another tree.
I'm the foreigner here.
You're a foreigner. We're both foreigners.
We're both foreigners.
Where are you originally from?
From Germany.
From Germany. Okay, do we know who this little tree is?
It's a titoki.
A titoki?
Yeah.
Can you spell that?
Titoki.
Okay, titoki.
Titoki.
There it is. And how big does that get?
Probably the same. Like
kind of a small tree.
Yeah. It was the only one there in the nursery, so I just tried to keep them going at the moment so we can plant them out in winter.
Yeah.
And we find a spot for them.
If
we're still stuck here, we can plant a few trees. Might as well.
We can set them on the end of the driveway, and then other people can plant native trees.
Yeah,
Can we do that?
Yeah, I thought about that too. Yeah,
Maybe. We'll see.
I mean, we've still got a few spots where we can plant them out, but yeah, it would be good
Oh.
if they get planted actually.
All right, now what's this little guy?
That's a little coalfire tree.
Can you spell that?
Kowhai, and it means yellow in Maori, because it has yellow flowers. and they come out in, I think, late August, early September, so in springtime. And that's actually the first flowers you see, and then you know that it's spring.
Oh yay! I can't wait till
It's
spring.
the awakening. Even been in winter. And I didn't actually plan to be in winter either.
Neither did I.
So
Okay, the
unfortunately,
Ko-Fi
we're stuck. You're stuck with that.
Yes, it's not so bad. The Ko-Fi tree doesn't. The big wood pigeons like to eat them too.
Yeah.
Is that correct? They
They
eat the
also-
leaves and
yeah.
everything.
Yeah, they would actually eat all the leaves, and you think the tree is dead, but the leaves just come back the next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not a big tree either. That's a small tree.
No, they can get quite big, like probably about 10 to 12 meters.
10 to 12 meters.
Yeah.
Okay. These are kind of like what I would call understory.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Who else do we have in the tree?
Who else do we have in the tree? We've got this here, this boy.
Oh! Do we know what this is? Can anybody guess? This is the king!
The king of the god of the forest, the Kauri tree.
Can you spell that?
Kauri.
This is the Kauri tree.
Kauri.
Kauri. See how they do this to me? yeah, like she said. The thing about these trees is they grow incredibly strong lumber and very straight, and they were cut down and used as masts for
Yeah.
ships. And
Yeah.
basically this whole hillside would have been, they grow huge like a redwood tree. And the whole hillside would have been covered in kauri, and this whole hillside was denuded. And this place is called the Driving Creek Railway. And the Driving Creek was they would cut the trees and dam up the water until they had a whole bunch of logs and water, and then they'd pull the dam and it would drive all the logs down to the ocean, destroying everything in its path.
Where
And
did you
now-
learn that, Laura? Did you learn that during the zipline tour?
I actually
We
knew
were on a zipline tour.
I actually knew it before that because I'd seen the Barry Brickle movie 1,000,000 times.
I haven't watched it actually.
Oh, it's really good. Anyways, there you go, the Kauri
Kauri
tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks a little brown right now, but I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, he'll be alright. He needs a little bit of water. He
Needs to
the
be
winter.
planted, like yeah.
He
for a
needs
little
to
bit.
come out of this plastic bag. Kate's gonna love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have? Oh, there's the kawa there.
Yeah.
This is another native tree. Kawa. Can we spell that?
Yeah. Kawa.
And this is a really healthful. You make a tea, and it calms you down while it perks you up,
Yeah.
and
And it makes your tongue numb.
it makes your tongue numb. I guess that calms you down. It's very
It
healthful
does.
tea. So we're after the show, we're gonna have a cup of tea.
We're
around
gonna
here.
smoke it.
I didn't know you smoked it.
I don't know.
Anyway.
I've never tried it. So.
No, I think you just put it in
Now
the tea.
we've got the time.
Now we've got the time. We could.
To try all these
Oh
things.
no. Okay. Who else do we have out there? We have one more little baby.
Oh,
one
we've
more.
got all the flies here
We got
too.
flies
on
on it with our dead rat. Oh God. Oh, this guy is so little. I don't know.
It's a little rimu.
A rimu. Now
Rimu
this
tree.
is also a huge tree.
Yeah,
It's
they
one of the
grow
big grandfathers of the forest. And one day this will be a huge tree. It's like the beginnings. Okay, now while you're here, there's some mumbling going on in the background. Come on now. We got the mumblers back there. While you're here on lockdown, you've got a little project going. What are you doing?
Oh, heaps of things.
No, but I mean like for yourself. Your cool little.
For myself, I built my own house
She's gonna
On
build
a-
a little house
on a trailer.
on a trailer.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. How big is it?
It's 5 meters long and 2.40 meters wide.
Yeah.
I don't know about,
Yeah, that's
feet or
fine. That's
inches
all right.
or
People can
whatever.
do the math themselves.
do the math. I don't know.
So that's super exciting.
Yeah, it is. And
Uh,
now, yesterday, as far as I could go, I just finished my underfloor installation, but I still need more material. And at the moment, everything's shut down, so it's pretty difficult to get any material. So So if anybody has some insulation,
Oh,
that
what
would be
size
great.
do you need?
50 mil,
50 mil
50 mil thick.
thick. So drop it off at the end of the
Yeah,
cuts.
just-
Drop it off
yeah.
at the end of the driveway so
Yeah,
she can
and,
go.
and maybe disinfect it before you drop it off.
Yeah,
Thank
or
you.
leave it cooking in the sun. I don't
Yeah.
know. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, Saskia, thank you for taking time out and for all this conservation work you do. Are you doing this as a volunteer? Is there a team of volunteers that?
It's a team of volunteers.
Yeah. Yeah. So
we're four. It's the four of us, and yeah, we have like a list and write everything down what we're doing, and
Yeah.
we do it like every week or every
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks, and depends on what needs doing.
well,
and,
thank you.
We've got our reports and everything. Yeah.
Thank you. She gets paid to run zip line tours. I'll put some pictures of the zip line tour up on the Patreon site. If you want to be a Patreon member, you can. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, Saskia. Yeah. And educating us all. Hey, and the good spelling. The fact that you can spell.
That's so impressive.
Well, it impresses me.
I have a Fijo.
Oh yes, have a Fijo. Oh wait, before you go, I have a little gift for you.
Oh.
And I've got one for Frederick too. This is a CD that I recorded, and I'd like to give you a copy. I don't know if you have a CD player in your fancy.
No.
You don't. Well,
No way.
but you can send it to someone. And Frederick, there's one for you too. So you can
thank
send
you.
it. You can send it to somebody that you care about, because, or somebody.
Anyway,
Anyway,
post is closed at so wait another.
you wait another 4 weeks. Off you go. All right. Thank you.
Okay, I'll see you later at pizza night.
Oh my goodness, we're gonna have pizza night tonight. I'm gonna sing a little song. We've all got troubles, you know, but I will say that you carry your troubles in a holy basket. Put your troubles in a holy basket. When you get where you're going, they'll all have dripped out. Just in case you were missing the song, Gulfport, here we go. I don't jump freight trains when they roll by. Don't like the blues, I'll tell you why. I go downtown when I want to smoke, when I'm treating life like a joke. I won't go sitting in my neighbor's yard, 'cause he's been working mighty hard. I go downtown, but I don't wear shoes. Oh, you know I don't sing the blues. I'll tell you what I did. There's lines to get in the grocery store around here. So last time I went to the grocery store, I took my mandolin and I stood there and I sang for the people. We was all 10 feet apart. Everybody kind of looked down at the ground. They didn't know what I was wanting. I didn't want nothing except to cheer them up. But nobody said anything. They were afraid to look at me until I was leaving. And then when I walked out of the store, somebody said, "Thank you." Carry my rain in a bushel basket. I'll carry the sunshine too. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, but let the sunshine through. Carry my rain in a bushel basket. Carry my rain in a bushel basket. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, but let the sunshine through. And I won't get cross if you smile at me, and I'll throw my troubles out to sea. I don't wear black or need a heart attack, 'cause we could be happy, how about that? Don't think much about what could go wrong, and I don't want to sing about it in a song. I'll look at you and shake my head. Lord knows, some people they'd be better off dead. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, carry the sunshine too. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, but let the sunshine through. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, carry my rain in a bushel basket, carry my rain in a bushel basket, but let the sunshine through. I don't see Saturn when I look at the stars, but I know it's out there and so's Mars. I don't think much about the evening news, and no, I don't sing the blues. I don't like ham, but I do like toast, and I certainly don't care who you hate the most. I don't care how it's always been done. You could give in, but still have some. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, carry the sunshine too. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, but let the sunshine through. Carry my rain in a bushel bushel basket. Carry my rain in a bushel basket. Let the sun shine through. Let the sun shine through. Okay, people, let your sun shine through. And if you're feeling stressed out, this is what you do. Position of power. That's it. Stand around like this. 2 minutes. That's my advice. Thank you all. We'll see you in 2 weeks. We got 2 more guests coming up. All righty. Woo!